You're all welcome to this session of the Igcse Cambridge Paper 2 Map Skill. So we're going to have a quick run through on possible exam questions and the simple skills that is needed for you to answer most of these questions. So the first thing we want to look at is location. So I'm going to be using these past papers to see how to locate features on the map. So first, here we said question 1 has to do with, I said, study the map extract of Throne in Scotland on a scale of 1 is to 25,000. Now, the first question is that figure 1.1 shows some of the features in the southwest of the map extract. So study figure 1.1 and the map extract and answer the following question. So this will be given to you. It must come out in your exam. So the first thing you need to do is to locate this point on your map extract. So the first detail you need is you look at the 4-figure grid reference here is 32 30 and 32 32. So I'll go to the main map itself, which is this. So I'll look for 32 30. Now this is 32 and this is 30. So both of them meet at this point here. They meet at this point here. That's 32 30, 32 30, and the other one is 32. The second one is 32 32. So we're going to look at for 32 32. So 32 32 is here. So this is 32, this is 32. Now the other two that you need is 35 32 and 35 30. So 35 32. So 35 32 here and 35 30 here. So what we're looking at is this particular point on this map. So that means this is similar to the extract being given to us in the question. So we are looking at this point from here, this straight line, this line joined together with this. So we are looking at this point. So this is what is in our map extract. So we'll go back to the map question, and here we have 1 2 3 we have 4 5 6 smaller boxes. So I will just number them here too. So here I have the same one because this is a line, 2 3 4 5 6. So it will make it easy for me to look at which box I'm looking out for. So first question is, they say use the map extract, identify the following features in figure 1.1. So feature A is in number 5 and we have semi attached to it. So what you need to do is go back to your map, look at A is number 5, semi, which is this. So you just go to your key and find what semi means. So we just need to semi, okay, general features. So semi here simply means symmetry. So this is what it is. So your A is symmetry. So I'll just go to my answer and type symmetry. That's it. Now the type of road at B, so this is B and B is in number 3. So you just go back to your extract, you go to number 3, 1 2 3. So you have to be sure, so it's this one here. So just so it's this road here they are talking about. So it's this one that cut across, the red one. So now look at it and go to your map extract and find what type of road is this. Go to your key. So go under railway. No, this is road. So this is it. The dual. So is this. So you just need to copy this name here and write it down at the space here. So that's a dual That's all. Sorry for the trying to be fast. So now the land use at C. So where is C? This is C, which is still in number 5. So what is the land used for in C? So you go back to your extract, you find where C is, number 5. So this is number 5. So you can see C is quite obvious, this path here. So you just need to go to your key and check what type of vegetation is that. So if you go to your key, go to vegetation, and you can see it here. These are the coniferous trees. We have coniferous trees there, and let's see, we also have shrubs located there. So that's all you need to write in the space here for land use at C. Now the height above sea level of the contour at D. So where is D? This is the contour line D. So it cuts across both number 6 and number 3. So we need to trace through to find out what is the contour line at D. So go to the map extract. So it cut across both number 6 and number 3. So we're looking at this contour line that is dark here. So sometimes you just need to trace it to see where the number is actually written on it. So if we trace it up, sorry, trace it, it's this way. So I can see a value here. Is that, yeah, can see, is that it? Sorry, let me see. 15. Okay, good. So another way is the contour line stop at this edge of number 3. So you should use that as a landmark. So the one that stop at this edge of number 3 here, so it's not the initial one we are looking at, is this, and the number written on it is 15. So that's it. So you need to be very careful. So this is 15. Then future E on this same map. So we go to E is found on, okay, this is feature E, number 1. So go to your map extract, you check for number 1, which is this. So this is it with the, so this is it here. So what is it called? You go to your key to find out the name of that feature. So this is it here. It's this one. So this looks like a path, a trail. So it's a path with a trail attached to it. So that's all. So you can just write a trail because the future is exactly like you can see the trail attached to it. So it's just a trail, or a trail can also be referred to as path. So now this is just how you answer this 5-mark question. It's used for location. So let's check the mark scheme quickly if we are on track or we missed anyone. So okay, here we have symmetry, we have the carriageway, we have the coniferous tree 15 and the trail. So we got all the 5 marks. So this is a 20-mark question. You've gotten 5. So I just use that as this past paper as an example. So let's move to look at how we find the answers to the other part on a map. Okay, So I'll be moving to my PowerPoint and I'll put it on the view mode. So quickly, another next, the major thing we need to look at is grid reference, which is either you know how to find the 4-figure grid reference and the 6-figure grid reference. Very important in locating points on the map. You have to know how to do them. Now, I will focus more on the 6-figure grid reference, or possibly the two, but I'll just give one example other than giving example for all of them. So here I will try to locate the 6-figure grid reference of point A, which is this. Now, the first thing you should do is the first step is to measure the 4-figure grid reference, is to measure the 4-figure. And so the 4-figure grid reference here should be 89. Sorry, 4 should be 98, 89, because you walk before you climb, and your X always come before your Y. So my 4-figure grid reference will be 98, 89 for point A. Now, we need to find the 6-figure grid reference of the same point. So the first thing you should do is get your 4-figure like we've just done. So 9, 8, you should leave a space for the 6-figure, for the 3rd figure there. And 8, 9, you leave a space for the next one. So how do you do that? Now, each of these boxes, for you to get your 6th figure, need to be divided into smaller lines of 10 smaller lines, so you know the exact point where that future is found. Now, the thing is, these smaller lines must be of equal distance from each other. So it is, in an exam, it will take a whole lot of time for you to do that. So the best way you should do it first is you should measure the distance from this point to this point. So now on this particular map, you find out that the distance from here to here is like 2.3. So if it is 2.3, and the distance here will also be the same as the distance from here to here, all of them will be 2.3. So since you need 10 smaller lines, you have 2.3. What you should do is 2.3 divided by 10. So you know the distance for each line, and that will give us 0.23. Now, in order for you to be very fast, there is no need for you to now begin to draw each line with a spacing of 0.23. It will take a whole lot of time. So what you need to do is measure the distance from A here. A is here. So draw a straight line from A down to this axis here. Make sure it's very straight. And another straight line here, and see where both of them meet. So once you've done that, what is the distance to this point where A is? Here we're looking at 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. So for me to get my exact position for A, that means the distance is 1.7. So you need to know how many smaller lines are there. So if you have 1.7 from 0 to this point, just the 1.7, you divide it by the distance for one smaller line. So 1.7 divided by 0.23, that will give us 1.7. Sorry, let me get my calculator. 1.7 divided by 0.23. 1.7 divided by 0.23. Okay, 1.7 divided by 0.23. This is 7 is giving me 7.3. So you cannot approximate because it's not up to 5. So all what I'll do here is you take 7. So this is 987. So the same thing here. I will now measure the distance from this point to where A stops on this So if you look at this, it stops somewhere here. So you take the reading also. This is 1, and I'm looking at not up to 1.5, you're looking at 1.4. So if it is 1.4, all you still need to do is your 1.4 should be divided by the same 0.23, because each line is 0.23 from the total, how we got it initially. So 1.4 divided by 0.23, we are getting 6. So I'm having 6.08. So this is approximately 6. It's not up to 5. So my 6-figure grid reference here now will be 987896. That's it. Now, the next thing is compass direction. You should know your 16-point compass rules. Very important, 16-point compass rules. It's very important. So here you have your north, south, west, east, and divided into several points, and they are used to find directions on the map. Very important. So let's look at this example. Now they said in this particular question, it is what is the compass direction from the church at Tavia to the church at Hoodie? From the church at Tavia to the church at Hoodie. So this is Tavia here, and this is the church at Tavia. And I have Hoodie here, and this is the church at Hoodie. So all you need to do is draw a straight line connecting the 2 points, something like this. Now, once you've done that, you know you are taking your direction from Tavia, which is where the church is, and down to Hoodie. So you make sure you draw your cardinal point there at Tavia, where you're taking the direction from. So what you should do, once you've drawn your cardinal point, you can, or you should try to label it. Like, this is my north, this is my south, this is my west, and this is my east. I normally say never ever smoke weed in your life. Don't ever try it. Never ever smoke weed. So if you look at this, you find out that this to this is like my southeast, right? So but you know, southeast is somewhere here directly, so southeast, but this is also closer to E. So this can also be east, southeast, because it's closer to the eastern direction than the southern direction. So you can put east, southeast, because it's not at the middle. So southeast, east, southeast should be given to you as an answer. So that's it. This is how you find direction on the map. Now next is bearing. Here we are told to measure the bearing from the church at Tavia to the church at Hoodie. So here you need your protractor to measure a bearing. So when going to the exam hall, make sure you go to that exam hall with a protractor. It's very, very important and very useful. So what we're going to do is quite very simple here. So the first thing is you locate the 2 points. Now this is Tavia, and this is the church at Tavia, and this is the church at Hoodie. So we want to find the bearing from Tavia to Hoodie. So the first thing is draw a line connecting 2 points. Now, very important, so that the line will protrude out from the protractor, so you'll be able to make accurate reading. So draw a line connecting the 2 points, then you put your protractor from the point where you are taking your reading from. So here, as you can see, the protractor is here. So you put it at this point and you take your reading. So this is 110, this is 111, this is around 112.5 or 112, 113, 111 should be within that range. So you see, that's it. If you look at your answers, the answer is between 111 to 113. So any number that is between that range, your mark will be given to you, but any number outside that range and below that range, you are not getting the mark. So this is how you calculate bearing. It's quite simple, straightforward, easy. You just need to practice. Now, another very important thing we need to look at in this same map reading is scales. Now, for IGCSE, geography, that's for the Cambridge specification. There are only two scales that can come out that comes out in the exam. That is being used in OS maps, which are ordnance survey maps. You have a scale of 1:25,000 and a scale of 1:50,000. Now, usually in the exam, you'll be expected to give your answer in either meters or kilometers. So you find that students normally find it difficult to convert from um, centimeters that they measure on their map to different unit. So it's quite easy. You don't need to stress yourself about the conversion. How is it done? Nobody is going to give you a mark for that. Just know how to get the answer. Some of the answers, if you just need to tick or circle the correct answer. So nobody cares about your calculative skills or how you are able to convert. So this is what you need to do. For a scale of 1:25,000, what that means is 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 25,000 centimeter in real life. So for every 1 centimeter you measure on your map in real life scenario, it is 25,000 centimeters. Now, to convert from centimeters to meters, you just need to divide by 100. So that means for every 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 250 meters in real life. So any value or you measure in centimeters using your ruler, all you need to do is to multiply by 250 if the scale of that map is 1:25,000 to get your answers in meters. Now, if the question require you to give your answers in kilometers and the scale of that map is 1:25,000, any value you get, you just need to multiply by 1/4. It will give you your answer in kilometers. It's as simple as that. Now, the same thing applies to a map of 1:50,000. If that is what is given to you in the exam, still simple. What that means is that 1 centimeter on the map is 50,000 centimeter in real life. So if you divide 50,000 by 100, it tell you that 1 centimeter on the map is 500 meters in real life. So what that means also is that 1 centimeter on the map is half kilometers in real life. Now, how do you convert from centimeters to kilometers? You divide by 100,000. So that's where we got this 1/2. And 25 divided by 100,000, that's where we got this 1/4. So it's simple. You don't need to show how you're dividing to get these values to convert. Just know this. So look at this example now. They said, what is the straight line distance from the church at Tavia to the church at Hoodie? Straight line distance from the church at Tavia to the church at Hoodie. Now give your answers in meters. So all you need to do is a straight line. So just draw a straight line between the two churches at Tavia and Hoodie. Then use your ruler, measure the distance. So that means here the distance is 9 centimeters. And then what our answer in meters? And the scale of this map is 1:25,000. So if they want my answer in meters, so I know that I'll just multiply by 9 times 250 meters. So 9 times 250, that will be, let me punch my calculator. 9 times 250, that is 2,250 meters. 2,250 meters. That is it. Now, if they want the answer to be in kilometers, it will just be 9 times 1/4, which will be 9 divided by 4, which is 2.25 kilometers. It's 2.25 kilometers. That is it. Now, if the scale of the map is 1:50,000 and you want to convert to meters, it's simple. So that will be, to convert to meters, it will be 9 times 500. And to convert to kilometers, it will be 9 times 1/2. That is all. That's all. That's just it. That's just what you need to remember in this exam. Now, so if it is not a straight line distance and it's maybe measure the root cause of a stream, the rail line, a road. So all you need to do, don't just go to the exam hall with a thread. just go to the exam hall with a thread and your ruler, obviously, definitely. So like in this case, you use a thread to trace the road perfectly. Once you've done that, you stretch the thread and put it on your ruler to measure the distance. In this example, you see it is now, when stretched, it is 7 centimeters. So if you have 7 centimeters and on a scale of 1 is to 25,000, and they want your answer to be in meters, so it will just be 7 times 250 to give your answers in meters. Now, if they want the answer in kilometers, it will be 7 times 1 over 4. That's if the scale is this. So if the scale is 1 is to 50,000, all you need to do is, for 1 is to 50,000, it will be 7 times 500, or that's to get your answers in meters. But to get your answer in kilometers, it will be 7 times 1 over 4. Oh, sorry, 1 over 2. That will give you your answer in kilometers. That's it. That is it. So, okay, there is this sample question about 6-figure grid reference. I think I've explained how to do that. Now, the next question that seemed to be very difficult for students is the cross section. Now, cross section is the most easiest thing to do in this exam. Let me just state that. Now, when going for this exam, I normally advise students to go with 2 rulers because of a cross-section question. And what you should know is that it must come out, and it is 3 marks out of the whole 20 marks. You know, 3 marks is for cross-section, 5 marks is for location of features. So that's 8 marks already out of 20. 5 for location of features that we looked at earlier. Then you must get 3 marks for cross-section. So once you know how to locate features and you know how to complete cross-section and identify features on the cross-section, you've gotten your 8 marks already. Then with distance and the rest, there is no how you will write this paper, number 1 question, and you won't get up to 15 marks. So let's see. Now, this is my map extract, and I'm giving this in my question. And now this is the question being asked. They said in figure 1.2, use label arrow to show the position of the N633 road, and also we need to know the position of the railway. And the next question is that the cross-section shown in figure 1.2 is incomplete. Now, so you can see it is incomplete. Yeah. Now, using information from the map extract, draw a line in figure 1.2 to complete the cross-section. So this is quite simple. Like I said, go to the exam hall with 2 rulers. Now, what you should know is, you should first know how to locate this point on the map extract. So here is 810000. So that's 6-figure grid reference. So this is my 81. So 810, that means I did not get up to 1 line here. So it's 810, which will be on this line. And 000 is this. So 8100, 810 and 000 meet here. So that's my first point. Now, the second point, which is this, is 860000. So 860 will be here, and 000 is here. So it's here. So what that means is, this line, sorry, why is it erasing? Sorry. 810 is here, 000 is here. So that's the point. So definitely what that means is the distance from here to this point, which is now this straight line, that is what this is this straight line. That means that straight line is the same with this line here on your question paper. They are of the same length. So all you need to do with your 2 rulers is get 1 ruler and place it here on the point you've found on the map. Get the second ruler and place it on your question paper. Once you've done this, you've answered this question. This is the skill to it. Now, the first question, they say we should locate the N633 road. So look at your map. Where did the N633 road cut across this your cross-section line? So this is N633. And if you check the road, it comes this way, and it crosses this line here, which is around, oh sorry, it crosses this line at around 2 point, it crosses the line at around 2.4, somewhere here. So since you know it crosses the line at 2.4, you come to your map here. This is your second ruler. You know this point here, 2.4, which is somewhere here. Yeah. So that point, you trace it up to this point. That is your what? That is your road, N633 road. So you draw an arrow, just the way they label their river. Straight line. And you write the N633 road. And you can see that it's close to the river. The next question is that the railway, they want you to find the railway. And the railway cut across this at this point here. Sorry, I can't be really sure. I'm not sure because I'm not with the key. So I think this should be it. So it cut across at 3.1. So I'll come here, 3.1. Sorry. So at 3.1, so this is 3.1 here. So obviously I know my railway is now here. You draw a straight line and you write your railway. Why is this thing misbehaving? Stop that, please. You write your railway. Now that's it. That means you've gotten your 2 marks. That is it. Just keep your 2 rulers there and you just locate the point. Now the next is for us to complete this. And you see this starts from around 4.5 to around 7.5. So we are looking at 4.5 here to around 7.5. So check the contour lines that are there. Now, usually you'll be given the contour interval, and the contour interval for this particular map is 10. So this is 200, and you see this is another 220 here, which is quite at around 4.5. So if you look at 4.5 here, it's around 220 because this is 300, so this is 250. Now, so find the highest point. So I have 200 as I'm increasing, I'm moving. Here we have 246. So 246 seems to be coming this way. Went back up. So the highest point on this area is this value here, which is 246. So I can't find any value from this point to this point that is above 246. So if I know that from here to here it was increasing down to this point, but none is above 246. So for me to complete this, I'll make sure I draw my line, but it should not be above. My line should not be above 300. It should not be up to, sorry, it should not be up to 250 because the largest point there is 246. So I can just increase it, but it will not touch 250 and come to 200. That's all. That is all. You're done. So if you check the mark scheme to this question, they said correct position of this, correct position of that, which is 2 mark, and now the land rising to a summit below 250. The highest point there was 246. I have another example here, but I think one is enough because I don't want the video to be, it's actually to be actually long because it take a whole lot of time. So it's the same pattern we just use in answering the other one. It's the same pattern you use to answer any of the questions. So the way it comes out is either they'll put a point X or Y and you have to find which feature is there. So you use the same pattern, you will find it out. or they will tell you to draw and show the position and complete. So that's just the way it comes out, nothing else. Now we'll be looking at relief, and please, this will be a part two session of the lesson. So I'm going to stop here for part one. So if you're done watching part one, you can actually watch part two for the continuation. Discard.